Lynn Sharif here. I saw something on YouTube that really impacted me so much that I just want to talk to you guys about it. I was watching Oprah Winfrey, and she had a Super Soul session. It was a live session, and during that live session, she had a woman speaking. Her name is Dr. Brene Brown. And Dr. Brown is a researcher out of University of Houston, and if you watch TED Talks, she has one of the top 3 most viewed TED Talks. She does research into shame. But when she was speaking during that session, she was actually talking about a scenario that happened with her little girl. Her little girl in 3rd grade was at school. She had told some young ladies or some girls something about her, and they in turn ended up sharing it with other kids in the classroom. Pretty soon the whole classroom knew about it, and they were pointing at her and laughing. It was awful. And it had gotten so out of control that the teacher, in order to punish them, threatened to take marbles out of the marble jar. So in this classroom, they have a reward system called a marble jar. So when kids are working well together and making good choices, she adds marbles to the marble jar. And over time, when the marble jar gets full, they can get a treat. Well, they were cutting such a fool that day that the teacher took marbles away. And this little girl was so scarred, and she was telling her mom, "I will never trust anyone again." And her mom said, "Well, really, friendship and your true friends are like marble jars. Those are the people that," and she began to go through with the little girl, "who are your marble jar friends and why are they your marble jar friends?" And so over time, we all have marble jar friends. These are people that you may have grown up with them, or they may be someone that you met later in life. But either way, over time, those people have done things that allow you to trust them. You can tell them your secrets. You can do the full on ugly face cry. You can, be really stank, and they still love you anyway because they have built this marble jar of trust. But it really got me to thinking about another set of friends that are in our lives. And those are the folks that they aren't marble jar friends, but over time you have a good relationship with them. The jar isn't quite as full, but I started thinking about it because particularly being an African-American woman, I have heard so many times, "I don't trust women. I don't do women." And some of those, there are so many reasons, and I'm not going to attempt to go through all of the reasons that those comments are made about friendships between Black women. But it made me start thinking that perhaps, could it be that the jar wasn't completely full? I mean, it has some trust in there. You guys have developed some relationship, but maybe something happened. There was a disappointment. There was something, or perhaps a time where one of you or both of you didn't really act that great. And then the marbles started leaving. And it's not totally bankrupt. You still love them a little bit, but maybe you don't call them as much. And so what I want to say today is, when you really look at both sets of friends, those marble jar friends, or even those that are nearly bankrupt, if you follow me, you know that a couple weeks ago I had a post about someone that I met. She certainly was not a marble jar friend. It was someone that I met and I thought was really cool. And one day she went to work and she just plain old never came home. And so it's saying that life is fleeting, and that tomorrow is not promised to you. And so for that reason, I'm not going to say that you're putting marbles in this jar because you're expecting anything, but you know what? Can you just send a text to a marble jar friend and just say, "I love you," or do something nice for them, because tomorrow is not promised, and we are oh so very thankful that we have them in our lives. But if you look at these folks that you're not bankrupt, but maybe, because when you start looking at the trust that you can build with someone who is not a marble jar friend, maybe a marble that you could have added could have been, "You know what you did really hurt my feelings, and can we talk about it?" That's a real courageous conversation to have. But what it does is it builds trust. And we have got to be more open and more willing to communicate those things that are important to us, because we are as responsible as they are for adding to the jar. Because there are some situations that can happen, and something that may happen with this person, it's going to take a whole lot for you to bankrupt this. but not so much to take to bankrupt this. So if you've got even a marble left, I would say, can you shoot a text to that person and perhaps try to restore that relationship? So I really appreciate you letting me share this with you tonight. So I want to also tell you that I'm going to be appearing in a few places, and if you go to my website, lynsharif.com, I can definitely keep you advised of those different appearances. I'll start advertising next week because I'll be moderating a leadership conference in the next couple of weeks, and I'll get that information to you, and hopefully you'll be able to attend. Also, my husband and I are going to be doing training for a premarital class, and we're going to be teaching a session on blended families because we are a blended family. We have been married since 2001, and we've got 3 adult children, but we certainly have navigated the path of blended families. And while I can't invite you to this event, maybe you can help me as I prepare for this event, because what I'm going to do, there's a session that I'm going to do, and it's going to be almost like a case study session, because I want to help people navigate through this, and I want to give real life scenarios, and I'm going to use mine, but I would love to be able to use some of yours if you have some good ones. So what I'm going to do is offer the scenario, a sticky situation, if you will, because I've got a number of them, but maybe you have navigated a really sticky situation in your blended family world. So I'd like to present that situation and then present a couple of different ways that they might navigate through it. One of those might be the way that you chose, or maybe you chose a different way. Maybe it went well, or maybe it didn't, because I know that I am the crash and learn. I did a whole lot of things wrong. And so I'm hoping that by sharing some of those things that I did wrong and some of those things I did right, I can help some other folks as they are beginning their marital path down this blended family lane. So if you have a story that you would like to share, I would love to hear it. A few different ways you can connect with me. You can go to my website, as I mentioned, and there is a place for you to enter comments, and I will definitely get back to you. You can also send me an email at lynn@lynsharif.com. You can also send me a messenger through Facebook, or you can send me a direct message on Instagram. And on Instagram, I am LYNNCHGO. So I'm Lynn Chicago at Instagram. You can send me a messenger on Facebook, or you can send an email to lynn@lynsharif.com. So I certainly hope to hear from you and would love to be able to use your story in my case study. And I am so thankful that you joined me. Take care. Bye.